This has been the coolest experience ever. I'm so glad I could be a part of the show because it's so important and it's going to teach so many fans out there how songs come to life. And working with these producers is like working with my idols, my dreams. It is working with my idols. I grew up like studying how they write songs. So for me to sit next to them now is like a dream come true, and even more. It's crazy. Being at Songland is truly a bucket list moment for me and a dream come true because I get to sit with my idols, great songwriters, and find an amazing song and create an amazing song. And I get to walk away with something timeless that'll last forever. I started out writing songs when I was 11, and I got signed when I was like 17. So I started in the songwriting world. I always thought like, oh, I don't have the look to be in front of cameras and do all this. So it's really emotional for me to watch these young, upcoming songwriters pour their hearts out and perform their song that they worked so hard on. And it's hard to say no. It's gonna be it's really challenging. I definitely see myself in these songwriters. My mom has constantly been saying, you would have been on this show. You would have been in the first episode, in the first season. I would have signed you up and made you come here. And, and I would have been here, like, especially with Esther Dean here and Ryan Tedder and now Shane. Like, I mean, I studied these songwriters. So that would have been, I probably would have got here and got too nervous to perform and probably would have cried just the fact that they heard me sing or heard my songs. My sound is very tricky. When a lot of people ask me, what's your sound or what's your thing? It's so difficult because I was a songwriter for so long and I've written so many different genres. As a songwriter, I just wanted anyone to cut my music. So I would say, okay, I'm gonna write country, I'm gonna write pop, I'm gonna write doo-wop and see if it'll come back. I'm gonna write rap, I wrote everything. And so when they told me, okay, All About the Bass is gonna be you and you're gonna be doo-woppy, and I was like, all right, like I could do it and I'll crush it and it'll be great, but eventually I'm gonna wanna go back into my pop world and my big like Rihanna, Katy Perry, big pop songs, cause that's what I love, and I love Esther Dean songwriting. So it was a weird transition for my second album for me to say, hey, I wanna come back with No, where I'm rapping and it's hard and pop R&B, like swag on it. And so my sound is very weird and all over the place because I'm a songwriter. I grew up listening to doo-wop, so I was really excited, and everyone tells you as a young songwriter, you just need that one song that'll break you through, and they always say, write what will stand out, write what's not on the radio right now, so you'll stick out like a sore thumb, you know? And I wrote this song thinking, gosh, no one will play this, because it was all EDM at the time. And I was like, this isn't gonna work. And because it was so different, that's why it stood out and why it had its own life. And I learned a very valuable lesson with that. So even I'll catch myself nowadays trying to write to radio and write what people like right now. But if I go back to my roots and think, okay, that song was so left field, let's try to write one of those. I've heard about Songland for a couple years now, just in the industry, low-key. I've heard rumors about it, and I didn't know if it would ever happen, but I'm so glad it's here. I'm so happy I'm finally here with Songland. I can't believe I'm on the show, and I just wanted to be a part of it from the moment I heard they were making the show, because it's so good for songwriters, so good for everyone in the world. The audience is gonna learn so much, and I think they'll really appreciate and respect songwriters way more, and artists who write their own songs. They'll really understand what it's like. Like, it's not like people might have a certain idea of how we make this music. Like, we go home and we write in our journal and we sit on our bed and we're like, meh. I'm like, no, I'm in the studio like dancing and going, it needs to be like this, rah! And it might show people a different side of how to make a song and how there's millions of ways to make a song. It's not just, here's how you do it. I hope America will finally see how I write a song or how I find songs and make them my own, and I can't wait for them to hear my version of this song.